When Jalen Green entered the NBA, there were a decent amount of expectations. He was drafted a year after potential future superstar at his position, Anthony Edwards, and I would say Jalen Green looked better than Ant did as a prospect while facing better competition in G League than Ant did in college. He would go second overall to the Houston Rockets, despite many viewing Evan Mobley as the superior prospect. However, Jalen Green hasn't lived up to his pre-draft expectations as a top 2 pick. He hasn't taken that leap. And with guys like Evan Mobley on an all-time defensive trajectory as a transformative player on that end of the floor, Scottie Barnes taking massive strides that suggest he has potential superstar upside, and Franz Wagner looking a future All-NBA wing, it just adds to the pressure for Jalen Green to perform. But what has gone wrong? Well, that's what I want to talk about in this video. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Jalen Green. In year 3, Jalen Green has seen noticeable regression. 17.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 3.1 assists per game on 40.7, 35.2, 80.4 splits, and a 53.8 true shooting percentage. Career lows in field goal percentage and true shooting percentage. On top of that, he's shown real concern scoring within the arc, as he's in the 9th percentile in rim efficiency, 9th percentile in non-rim 2-point efficiency. Now, the one bright spot with his scoring has been his 3-point shooting, as he's shooting 35.2% on 6.2 attempts per game. However, being a league average 3-point shooter doesn't make up for how poorly his scoring within the arc has been, especially for someone who was drafted very highly because of his scoring ability. What makes it even more concerning is that year 3 is the year that most stars take that leap. Ja Morant took the leap in year 3. Darius Garland took the leap in year 3. Anthony Edwards took the leap in year 3. Tyrese Halliburton took the leap in year 3. Jalen Johnson has taken the leap in year 3. Scottie Barnes has taken the leap in year 3. It's not always the case for a player to take the leap in year 3. Development isn't linear, but it is concerning when a player with the usage and opportunity of Jalen Green is not only not taking that leap, but also regressing in a noticeable way. Especially considering that Houston is a much more competitive team now compared to the first 2 seasons of Jalen Green's NBA career. Here's another thing that's concerning. Jalen Green has not been a valuable player in a positive way for the Houston Rockets this season, despite playing the 3rd most minutes of anyone on the team and having the 2nd highest usage rate of anyone that is seeing at least consistent rotation minutes on the team. Among the 9 players on the Rockets who play at least 400 total minutes of the season up to this point, Green ranks 9th in offensive win shares, 8th in win shares, 9th in win shares per 48, 9th in defensive box score plus minus, 6th in box score plus minus, and 5th in value over replacement player. I know these numbers aren't a perfect measure, they don't fully paint a picture, but when you are known for scoring, you play as many minutes as Jalen Green has, and again, have the 2nd highest usage rate among rotation players on your team, and you have negative offensive win shares, and don't even rank top 3 in any advanced stat, that's concerning. But for as bad as the numbers are, what has led to these struggles on tape is a lack of effectiveness in an area he should be excelling at. This season, Jalen Green is shooting 52.7% at the rim on 4.8 attempts per game. And there has been noticeable regression in his efficiency at the rim over his first 3 seasons. Now, I wasn't as worried about it last season because while the efficiency at the rim went down, he saw an increase in rim volume and a noticeable jump in terms of foul drawing. However, he's seen a decline in volume and free throw attempts this season, which makes his regression in terms of rim efficiency very concerning. He's still not that strong. He will have some nice finishes at times, but a lot of what I'm seeing is a lack of processing on drives. Just putting his head down and trying to out-athlete defenders, and there are a decent amount of defenders he can do that against because he's just that athletic. He's one of the most athletic players in the NBA. But it's not a reliable process when it comes to finishing at the basket, especially if you're trying to finish at the basket at a high level. In some ways, it reminds me a bit of LaMelo Ball in terms of his rim struggles early on in his career. Both of them have elite flexibility and body control, but lack strength that really hurts how effective they could be. But at the same time, LaMelo Ball is a much more skilled player who affects the game in more ways, and rim pressure wasn't the main focus of what potentially could make LaMelo Ball an incredible player. Being an incredible rim pressure threat was the baseline for Jalen Green's potential path to being this franchise player because of how athletic he is, because of how quick, how fast, how explosive, how flexible, how great his body control is, how great all of it was, to the point where you can teach that kind of athleticism. That was supposed to be the baseline that opened everything else up. Because he was supposed to be an incredible rim pressure threat, it would open up his game as a playmaker, as he would be able to draw more attention and be able to find more open teammates off the attention he draws. It would make teams go under screens more, so he would take more jumpers and be able to grow in that area. And when you combine that with what I still believe is a very natural and good shot creation ability off the dribble out of Jalen, you were supposed to get this great player, and all of it was based around him becoming one of the best rim pressure threats in the NBA. And not only has he not become that, he's been really bad in terms of being a rim pressure threat this season in particular, which is why the regression has been so noticeable. When Jalen Green was drafted 2nd overall, he was given expectations of becoming a franchise player. He wouldn't have gone top 2 if Houston didn't believe he had that upside. There was a belief he was a naturally talented scorer, growing as a playmaker, had the athleticism to be a good defensive player, and also that same athleticism would lead to him being a monster rim pressure threat, which would open up the rest of his game. However, that hasn't been the case in the NBA through 3 seasons. I know I made a whole video yesterday talking about why we need to be patient and not hold young players to the expectations of Luka Doncic or Trae Young when they were 3-year NBA players. And I'm not saying Jalen Green should be putting up the same numbers that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is right now, but I do think it needs to be talked about that he has regressed, and that's concerning. He's somebody that's known for his ability as a scorer, and he isn't efficient or effective at scoring. He's regressed in terms of production and efficiency. And when you look at the other players drafted after him and how they played in the NBA, it really is concerning. Despite my offensive concerns, Evan Mobley is a top 5 defensive player in the NBA when healthy. Scottie Barnes is taking massive leaps and looks like a franchise player. Franz Wagner looks like a future All-NBA guy and a cornerstone on one of the best young teams in the NBA. Even a guy like Jalen Johnson looks like a potential future All-Star, and he's taken a massive leap in his first real season getting opportunity. Meanwhile, the player that was drafted 2nd overall is inefficient in the main skill set of his game and hasn't been nowhere close to good at what's supposed to be the foundation of his offense. On top of that, even compared to the other young players on the roster, it's concerning. Jabari Smith has gotten better in year 2. Alperen Sengun looks like an all-star now. Tari Eason is making an impact. And when you look at it, I wonder how much longer can Jalen Green be this inefficient and this inconsistent before they give Amen Thompson, who I believe has more upside than a Jalen Green, or Cam Whitmore, get chances to overtake him. Now, is it over for Jalen Green? No, it isn't. He's only 21 years old. He's had flashes of star upside. He has all the talent in the world. I'm not going to give up on a player who has that many intangibles you just can't teach. And even then, he's averaging 25 points per game on incredible efficiency over his last 3 games. So maybe he is turning it around in the new year, although it is a small sample. Regardless, if Jalen Green is going to live up to the pre-draft expectations, a lot will have to change. He's going to have to be more bought in on defense. Ime Udoka is not afraid to bench a player who is not giving effort on defense. He's going to have to be more engaged and make better decisions offensively, which would help with his efficiency. Now, will he do it? I don't know. That's something only time will tell. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Jalen Green in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.